this world, we have been brainwashed to believe education in school, college shall solve all your problems. Everybody wants to be educated, nothing wrong. But what is wrong is that little corollary, the tailpiece that is attached to every such promise is, if you get educated and if you get a job, if you get money, all problems shall be solved. Nobody tells you the side effect of education. Are you getting that point, please? Thereby it does not mean the scripture dismisses education. No, for God's sake, understand. Education has its place, but do not attribute so much of wonder, like a wonder drug, which will solve all your problems. If education has to solve all your problems, the one who has got PhD, FRCS, ABCDEF, from A to Z, all the letters after your name, then you shall be the all wonderful person. But you discover educated people have more trouble than the uneducated people. Naturally so. Why? Because educated person's mind is full of dreams and pictures. And what are you doing in life? You are always trying to match your thoughts with the world. Uneducated person doesn't have an elaborate map of the world in his head. Therefore, he doesn't want to match it. Whatever outside, he is happy with it. That is uneducated person. Are you getting that? Educated person means you have a special picture. This type of a house, this type of a car, this type of food, this type of man or woman, this type of children. And if it doesn't match, you are thoroughly disappointed, because they are thoroughly disappointed and destroyed. Why? Because it doesn't match. When the educated person becomes frustrated, like rich feeling poor, the person shall destroy the world, because you have the power. The rich man's greed can destroy everything. Poor man's poverty you can fulfill. Rich man's poverty you cannot fulfill. A child you can satisfy. A grown-up you cannot satisfy. Are you getting that? The child doesn't have dreams yet. Are you getting that? So educated person means so much of dreams. So the propaganda machine has worked over time, where everybody says education solves a problem. Why is it so? Don't blame it. There was a time when people are not educated. As a result, there is so much of ignorance, so much of poverty, so much of disease. They are living from hand to mouth, struggling hard to produce some foodstuff, could not fight against the vagaries of nature. Now there is a cyclone, now there is a flood, now there is a drought. Millions were wiped out. Cholera comes, disease comes, plague comes, everything is wiped out. Understand? Naturally, everybody wanted how to have more food, no disease. Because mankind was being wiped out, like one pestilence, like one plague. Cholera, smallpox, millions were being wiped out. So that time if you say, no, you are Brahman, you are absolute, hey, don't give me this. Brahman, immortal. I'm dying. What am I immortal you are talking about? Are you getting that point, please? So, everybody dismissed all these things. The first body must be taken care. They didn't understand. They don't have to say that. You don't need a science or scientist to tell that. You don't need a secular or secularist, secular idea or secularist to talk about it. Even this, our tradition is so beautiful. It talks about it. Kalidasa writes those days, Sarira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. Sarira madhyam, adyam sariram. You must take care of your body first. Then only dharma sadhana. Can you believe that statement? Not now. thousands of years before. Sarira madhyam, your body you must take care first. To a dying person, you cannot give him a dream of immortality. To a starving person, you cannot give him a dream of fulfillment. Are you getting that point, please? But who has the time to listen to these things? Why is it so? Because in history, if you look at the history of mankind, certain sections, especially people from Europe, they started moving out into the, as they call, new world. Because before Middle Ages, there was not much connection between the different parts of the world. There was Silk Route, there was very much of the land route, but there was no sea voyage. So when the Europeans started this voyage, what they took with them? Their culture. Naturally, when an Indian goes somewhere, he will take Indian culture. When a Japanese comes there, he will take Japanese culture. An Australian comes, he will take Australian culture. European comes, he will take European culture. So from the heartland of Europe, when they started going around the world, they took their religion, their culture around the world. And what they thought? The rest of the world was uneducated. The rest of the world was uncivilized. Why? Because they were stuck in one place. They did not know in many parts of the world civilization flourished